Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ. This is your host Praveen Mishra again, and welcome to your very own show with regard to the social issues and social justice of our country, that is IQ Speaks. So today we'll discuss about an international event that is happening and that is for sure a big trouble towards our Indian economy. And what is that? It's coming all the way across from the westernmost corner of this planet, that is United States of America. Donald J. Trump, that is the very freshly elected, freshly having the seat again of the US president. We know very well that how much lunatic personality is Mr. Trump. A personality, the one who has taken America out of many of the international organizations as well as the protocols, including Kyoto, UNESCO, and so on. In its in his first ever tenure, right? So in his first ever tenure, he took America out of Kyoto Protocol, including UNESCO and many more. And now, in his second tenure, after a gap of 4 years, that is when Joe Biden won the elections and took the charge of the US president seat. Now, when he returns back to power, he has now become more senile. He has now become more lunatic. Since day one, he's trying to represent that yes, the world is at war. And America is preparing itself in the very best way to tackle and to lead the war as well. To tackle the adversaries and lead the war and win ultimately, just like World War II. Just like World War II. So even if case we consider it, then World War II ended on a very deadly and lethal note. Nagasaki and Hiroshima. We need not discuss that further. Every one of us are aware. When we talk about what is the news? Donald Trump has started a global trade war. A global trade war. Yes, that's correct. So far, the trade war was a particular phrase which was used between two countries or three or four countries, a type of a group of countries, basically. Specifically, the trade war was a term used between two different countries, that is America and China. That is, they were imposing of tariffs on each other's exports, on each other's products. But now this time, America has gone a step ahead, a ridiculous step. That is what the economists and the geopolitics experts, they are calling it. America has considered 2nd of April as its Liberation Day and has imposed at around 49%, as low as from 20%, 27% to up to 49% of export tariffs on the products coming from outside the country of America. So we'll discuss this segment, but just first come to another important thing that we need to discuss. And what is that? With regard to America, a $35+ trillion economy as what the international organizations, financial organizations, as well as the financial organizations of America have to state. What is the total overall net debt of America? If the economy is floating nearly 35 or $36 trillion, then the debt is also not so far, nearly $32 to $33 trillion. $32 to $33 trillion of the debt America is having right now, right? So that means the economy is equivalent to its debt. Well, the Americans, because of their utmost pride and ego, they won't admit that they are undergoing a severe financial crisis. Yes, they won't. But their actions is telling that they are too much feared, too much frightened. Why are they trying to impose tariffs? Just because the reports of the international financial organizations that has stated clearly that America is in huge trade deficit, starting from China, continuing to Bangladesh, Vietnam, India, and so the other Southeast Asian nations are into that list as well. And in order to curtail that trade deficit, to cover up that trade deficit, Mr. Lunatic Senile Personality, that is the POTUS, President of the United States of America, has come forward to impose tariffs, some reciprocal sanctions, what we can basically call, and he has simply now imposed tariffs on majority of the countries from the adversaries as well as from the allies, and yes, has officially instigated or initiated the trade war. and that shall ultimately lead to the bigger one, that will be the World War III. And Mr. Trump, if you are not aware, then please do make yourself aware that yes, it's the nuclear age, it's the nuclear world. World War III won't be fought with just the classical weapons or the conventional weapons, simply the guns and the dynamites or the grenades. World War III will be fought with the nuclear weapons, the nuclear bombs, and the missiles. They will be there in action that will ultimately vanish out the whole planet. Nothing will be left, literally nothing. And so, instigation or the initiation, America has already done with the start of the so called Liberation Day and the implementation of the export tariffs. Now, talking about America's friend these days, now we are, as what America mentions often, that India is a dear friend, close friend. While delivering the speech on tariffs, Mr. Trump has also stated that though India is a close friend, Narendra Modi is a close friend, yeah, but still, I have to impose 27% of the tariffs on the exports from India. How can you even call yourself a close friend? See, this is where the rationality of an individual, specifically an individual, the one who is possessing such a big position, comes into the limelight, comes into the checks, comes into the picture basically. Even after calling yourself a good friend, you are imposing 27% of sanctions. This is not something very rational, right? Now, which are the industries from India which will be in bigger trouble because of this so-called Liberation Day, so-called imposition of tariffs? So the two industries that we need to discuss, the one which will be impacted broadly and the other one which is nowhere impacted. So the biggest industry or the segment of economy which will be troubled is the diamond and the other jewelry industry in India. As American market presently, the annual turnover is 10 billion US dollars of India's export of diamond and other precious jewelries to US. Presently, 10 billion US dollars, and the overall market cap, the Indian jewelries along with the diamonds, they do have inside the country of America or the market or economy of America is roughly 32 billion US dollars. And on that annual turnover of 10 billion, or in that annual export of 10 billion US dollars, when it comes to 27% of the tariffs, so that is 2.7 billion of the excess taxes that the exporters from India, they will have to pay. And so the industry is now in big serious trouble. And now this will lead to the rise in prices of the jewelry, specifically diamond and gold. And this rise in price will be the big headache to the common masses once again. We already know that how around 90,000 plus, touching a lakh for 10 grams of the gold is here the price in India, and how a common man is going to just have any sort of affordability with regard to the gold and other diamond products when the prices are already touching a lakh rupees for 10 grams. And after the imposition that will come into effect on 9th of April 2025, the prices will have to be hiked in order for the exporters to curtail their expenses, the extra expense that has come because of the lunatic action of the senile personality Donald Trump, right? So the industry that is troubled the most, it is the jewelry and the diamond industry basically. Apart from that, the second industry that is nowhere into the list of trouble, not just in India, towards any other country. It is the auto parts, that is the vehicle industry. Why, dear America? Why in your tariffs? Why it is not the automobiles and its parts not inducted into it? Why are you troubled? Why are you feared? Is there anything you're trying to hide? Yes, you are. As your automobile industry is not performing on a very well note, the local production, the domestic or the indigenous production with regard to the automobiles is, yes, now nowhere into the top runners list. It is dominated by many Indians as well as European countries or the companies basically, right? So just because of fear of having not better of the exports into the automobile industry, the Trump administration has decided not to put neither the spare parts, neither the whole of the vehicles into the radar of the new tariff rules. So the industry in India that has not to worry about, not just in India, but anywhere throughout the globe, which has not to worry about is the automobile industries, from the whole of the vehicles to the spare parts of it as well, right? So, guys, with regard to the tariffs and Trump's actions, it will be a trouble to the Indian economy. And the local exchequer would be now bound to increase the prices of the daily goods, the civic supplies, the civic products, that is the day-to-day products that we use. We will have to see a rise in the price, and let's be prepared for it. So, guys, what's your opinion on Trump's action? And what's your opinion that how the prices will hit the common masses? And any suggestion, if it is there, please do let us know into the comment section. Okay, everyone. So this is me, Praveen Mishra, signing off for the day once again. And yes, I tried my best to deliver you as much as content as we can. And so please do provide your valuable feedback into the comment section. Thank you so much, guys. See you all soon in the very next podcast into the IQ Speak session. Good day, great day, study well. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.